Well, here we go. Thick and fast these races are coming this morning. We're about to get underway for heat number 3. Simon Johnstone taking pole position in this one by a fairly comfortable 2/10 ahead of the Maple Motorsport suited driver of Trevor Hansford, his teammate Nico Schweinzer on third place just behind him. And we are green for heat number 3. Second of the lightweight heats today. Pretty even start from the front too, but it seems to be a theme so far today that the drivers starting from second are getting better starts than the drivers on pole. That may be because the racing line is a little bit more rubbered, as we try to go 3 wide through turn number 3, the first of the hairpins. But again, all seemingly quite well behaved in this race. I imagine that will change later in the event as the opportunity to score points become fewer and fewer. Already the leader at the front of this field, pointing ahead to try and say, come on, let's go, let's push away now. But whether the driver in second actually adheres to that is a different question, as we're already side by side into Garda corner. Oh, a big send at the back from the number 23 of Toby Tozer. Using the typical rental karting strategy of ignoring that pedal underneath your left foot, instead using other people as your brake. But it is Simon Johnstone who leads in this race from pole position. Trevor Hansford, after having a little bit of a scrappy first lap, managing to hold on to second place. And already this top 5 sort of stringing out a little bit, or I should say that, whereas Oliver Wheddon's already back down the inside. Oliver Wheddon, who finished runner-up in the lightweights this time last year in the number 7. Former British University's Karting Championship champion, racing for Loughborough University. And I'm not biased, but that is definitely the best of the university teams. As they make their way through Garda for the second time. This top 3 just starting to break away a little bit, actually. Craig Dickinson, the cork in the bottle for 4th downwards. Oliver Wheddon, if he's got the pace that he did last year, is going to try and make his way past. But actually, Trevor Hansford and Nico Schweinzer are already battling. These two are teammates, of course, both racing for Maple Motorsport in this event. One aspect of this event that I haven't mentioned is the Teams Championship. Each driver is, or most of the drivers, are assigned to some kind of team. Teams that they race otherwise throughout the rest of the year in different events, or who have been created for this year. The team that has the highest scoring drivers throughout the event will receive a separate trophy. But actually, the number 12, Nico Schweinzer, it looks like he's going to go from 3rd to 1st on this lap. The 11 of Simon Johnstone trying to cut back. But the man who started in 3rd position has made his way up into the lead. But these 3 need to be careful and actually think about the long game, because this battling, they had a bit of a gap behind them as they crossed the line last time, but now the number 1 of Craig Dickinson is all over the back of this battle. The number 11 of Simon Johnstone managing to get back up the inside, but actually that's compromised his exit, and Nico Schweinzer back into the lead. It's a single file through the S's. This top 5 now with a bit of a gap to those behind. So if they work together, they might be able to break away. Nico Schweinzer, one of our European drivers in this event. Simon Johnstone not too worried about intercontinental relations as he immediately sends one back on into Nico Schweinzer. So Nico gaining the lead and then losing the lead all within a lap. Fantastic battle at the front, and actually Craig Dickinson out of nowhere, he was back and forth and looking like he didn't quite have the pace, but he's got back up into 3rd ahead of Trevor Hansford and now challenging for 2nd position. This top 5 is about to become a top 9 as the group led by Thiago Banza, which has a few Club 73 drivers, Megan Quirk, Adam Beaumont and Harry Graham, finishing off that group of 4, have turned this lead battle into a group of 9. Any more battling from this front 3, and it is going to turn into a pretty hairy collection. But Simon Johnstone just able to keep ahead. And him and Nico Schweinzer actually just having a little bit of a better second half to that lap, so maybe they're starting to break away. In fact, they have. So Craig Dickinson, maybe he got caught up in a bit of battling, but maybe he just doesn't quite have the pace in this race. New personal best that last time round from Simon. but he's having to defend again from Nico Schweinzer. We're not really seeing outrageous lap times, but Nico managing to get the cutback, not quite able to get up alongside going into the chicane. You do really need to be completely alongside going into that chicane, otherwise you're just going to get absolutely crowded out. And it seems like Simon and Nico do have the pace at the front of this race, but being preoccupied for the lead may cost them in the long term. We will have to see, but it has definitely become a top 9, this group. Big gap to those behind. Nico Schweinzer looking to the inside, the 39-year-old Austrian. First time competing in this event. As he looks to the outside, not quite able to get it done. Is he going to get a cutback into hairpin 2? He needs to be careful that Craig Dickinson isn't just going to throw it up the inside into hairpin 2. Not quite close enough that time. And he's much further alongside now is Nico Schweinzer. They're side by side heading through the chicane. Craig Dickinson now firmly in this fight as well. A little bit of a better line through the corner at the bottom of the hill for Nico. He's going to get a better run, but Simon very wisely covers it off. If Simon were to win this race, he will have definitely earned it, the amount of defending he's have to do. 38-year-old DJ Motorsport driver, DJ Motorsport based here at Butmore Park, so he's definitely done a few laps of this circuit. Previous best finish of only finishing 8th in the B final, so he's having a much better event so far than any he's had previously, qualifying on pole and leading this race as it currently stands. Meanwhile, Oliver Wheddon down the inside, claiming that 3rd place. And it looks like Trevor Hansford and Craig Dickinson are going side by side out of hairpin number 1. Probably the biggest gap that this top 2 have had throughout the entirety of this race, but we have to remember Oliver Wheddon in kart number 7. Runner-up in this category last year. He's showing that pace. He's already closed most of that gap, actually. Oliver seems to have the pace to be able to bridge that gap. Be interested to see what kind of lap time Oliver does this time round. And it was a 51.2, so just a couple of tenths faster than what our top 2 were able to achieve. But as opposed to the first heat where we were seeing lap times down in the low 50s, the amount of battling that these top guys are having to do means that none of them have really set a representative lap time yet, and that might not be the case for the entire race. Oliver Wheddon does seem to have the pace on those behind. Trevor Hansford and actually the number 5 of Adam Beaumont now battling. Adam's come from quite far down, started in 11th. So he'll be happy with the progress that he's made in this race. A pro class champion in Club 73 is Adam Beaumont. He's actually made his way from 11th all the way up to 4th, so fantastic drive from Adam. Still 4 minutes left to go in this race. Can he make any further progress? And down the inside goes Oliver Wheddon, actually, as Simon Johnstone was defending from Nico Schweinzer. And now Oliver and Nico going side by side through the chicane. And this has finally, this battle, allowed Simon Johnstone to have a lap where he's not having to defend into Garda corner. Nico Schweinzer saying, come on, let's push up, let's go. Oliver Wheddon, though, might be thinking, look, you've had most of this race behind them and you weren't able to get past him. Maybe it's time for me to have a go. As they cross the line once again, Adam Beaumont from 11th on the grid is in this lead battle. So it is Simon Johnstone from Nico Schweinzer. Oliver Wheddon not feeling the need to go for the move, but he went for the move into hairpin 2 last time out. You can't just open the door like that, Nico. Oliver is going to go for it. Adam Beaumont, though, going for the cutback on Oliver that time round. Not quite able to get it done. He is hounding the back of the former Loughborough University driver. You can see just how much they cut that downhill corner. And actually, Adam Beaumont managing to get a nose in down at the bottom of the hill, going into Garda. And up to 3rd goes Adam Beaumont from 11th on the grid. So he'll be very satisfied with this drive if he's able to keep it going. And he seems to be very pumped up. He's gained 8 positions in this race, but he wants more. Gap between the top two, just 0.4 of a second. This front four have nicely broken away now from Trevor Hansford, the Maple Motorsport driver who leads the chasing pack. Craig Dickinson, who was fighting for third earlier in this race, now down to 7th. So not a good second half to this race for the number 1 kart. And Adam Beaumont makes the move into 2nd position. If he could go from 11th to 1st in this race, it would be the best drive that we've seen probably today so far. And he's still got 100 seconds left to catch up to Simon. New fastest lap of the race from Adam, the only driver apart from Jake Everest down in 8th position to dip into the 50s. And he was 4 or 5 tenths of a second faster than Simon Johnstone on that last lap with Simon in clean air. So actually you'd have to argue that Adam does have the pace to make this pass for the lead. He's now all over the back of Simon Johnstone. I think he's going to get one more lap after this one. Takes a better line through the bottom of the hill. Does Simon Johnstone go defensive? Yes, he does. Adam going for a little move towards the inside, just managing to get just the very tip of his nose into that space. Now, it all depends how many laps left have they got. This is going to be the final lap of this race. They might have gotten 2, but it is going to be 1. Remember, Nico Schweinzer, who has been fighting for the lead so far, is still there or thereabouts as they are 3 wide heading down into hairpin 1. Cutback, though, from Adam Beaumont, but that may undo him as that's going to open the door for Nico Schweinzer. Nico, with a fantastic little cutback, just shuffling Adam a little bit wide on the apex of hairpin 1. Oliver Wheddon still in there. But you have to applaud this drive from Simon Johnstone. He has been pretty textbook in his defending so far in this race. Oh, super late move from Adam Beaumont, forcing Simon Johnstone off the track. You'd have to say that's pretty fair from Simon, as down the inside goes Nico Müller. Sorry, Nico Schweinzer, I should say. As they're almost going to be 3 wide battle for second, but it looks like it is going to be Simon Johnstone who is going to take the win from pole position, but a fantastic drive as well from Adam Beaumont, finishing in 2nd position from 11th on the grid. But of course, the qualifying for this, for all of these heats, super, super close. Just 4 tenths of a second between 2nd and 11th in qualifying. So provisional results. Looks like it is going to be Simon Johnstone who takes the win in that race, ahead of Adam Beaumont, up from 11th on the grid. Nico Schweinzer started 3rd, finished 3rd. They had a bit more of an interesting race than that. Oliver Wheddon taking 4th position.